So Impact Metals back in April announced that we had acquired a 50% interest in Aluminous Proprietary Limited. That's a private company. And that company owns 100% of the HiPurA technology platform for the production of high purity alumina. And that principally comprises the payment for the chemical process and also a pilot plant, which was about 90% complete, and also a fully functional analytical laboratory for high precision chemistry and assay. So we took possession on the 1st of May, and since that time, the team down there, led by the ex-CEO of Chemex, David Levy, and also Dr. Nick Wellen, who invented the process, have been in there getting the plant up to speed, putting all the systems in place that are required. And then they've been now we're in the position of putting material in batches through each stage of the process. There's about 4 different stages, and each one of them, we're commissioning a new plant. There's always ironing issues to be ironed out. That's all coming together. And so we hope that within the next few weeks, we should get to our first batch of the white powder, high purity alumina, at the end of that. So there's tremendous progress in the last, 3 or 4 months. So one of the things we discovered on our journey in the HPA business over the last couple of years has been that clients really won't take you seriously until you have your own hard plant. And that's because the end products are normally quite high spec and quite bespoke for each of the clients. And so if they're going to change supplier, they want to make sure that you are there at the end and there for a long time. And so whilst they might take samples of you and be polite, they won't really take you seriously until you've got that hard plant. And so now, of course, we have that hard plant through Aluminous, and we're close obviously getting that commission. And so as a result, there's been an increase in brand interest from a number of parties, in particular in North America, in Europe. So that's a great indication that there is demand. I always talk about Alpha HPA Limited, code A4N, current market cap $1 billion, and they're scaling into production of about 10,000 tonnes per annum, but they've indicated they've had indicative demand for 30,000 tonnes per annum. And so there's a massive gap there that needs to be filled because nobody can produce that amount of HPA. And we now will be only the second company on the ASX able to produce HPA in any sort of quantity once that pilot's up and running. So we're pretty confident that if we build it, the clients are going to come. So one of the key parts of the strategy has actually been the appointment of Mr. Tim Nisha as the chairman of Aluminous. We announced that this week. And Tim is actually the current chairman of Gold Road Limited, which is under a $3.5 billion takeover from Goldfields. And he's actually a chemical engineer by trade. And so he understands the intricacies of the high-tech processes like we have with HiPurA Impact process. So having Tim on board is a very significant tick of validation for the company, its process and its business plan, which is very simple. Going to get that plant up and running, producing smoothly by the end of the year. Next year is all about more client engagement and feasibility studies to work out what the next scale of plant is that as we help increase the manufacturing capability. And that will actually occur probably in North America. 2 of the investors in Aluminous, along with Impact, are North American resource specialist investment funds, and they're keen to see us set up the next scale in the US with a look to potentially listing on the NASDAQ within a few years. So, very exciting time going forward. How that integrates with Lake Hope. So Lake Hope is our own HPA project that we own 100% of. We got the Aluminous acquisition only at the end of our PFS. But to be clear, it's a different feedstock and it's a different process. However, we believe that our feedstock, the Lake Hope material, is a natural potential feedstock for the HiPurA process. So right now, we're funding work to look at how those two might integrate. The sole purpose of that is to work out, can we provide Lake Hope material cheaper than the current feedstock? And if that's the case, then the two have a marriage made in heaven and maybe produce HPA even cheaper than we currently can. And the current indications are that we'll be able to produce HPA probably 30% cheaper than anybody else globally. And so we believe that's going to be a huge kicker for us to get into the marketplace. So lots of work to look at the integration of those two. Just to finish is that if Lake Hope doesn't integrate, we've actually discovered a method of making potash out of the clay, and that would be a parallel stream that investors will be hearing more about in the near future.